Hey, Mrparka here to review the newest one from Ryan Nicholson. And you guys know who Ryan Nicholson is. He did Gutter Balls, Hanger, Bleeding Lady, tons of other stuff. Ryan Nicholson is a splatter king from Canada. He's a great special effects artist who decided to make films and makes them super sleazy and super gory. So you think by putting in a new film by him, you know what you're getting yourself into. No, Dead Nude Girls, you really don't know what you're in for. It is much sleazier than anything he's ever done before, and much dirtier and much more pornographic than anything he's ever done. Essentially what Ryan Nicholson did was he made a roughie. Nowadays, a roughie is kind of like a sex horror movie with like real graphic sex and violence and whatnot made in the 70s and things like that. And this is essentially what he's done with Dead Nude Girls. Dead Nude Girls tells the story of a obviously psychopathic rapist who attacks women, and it's three different stories. Essentially, he does one in two girls camping. He gets one girl through an interview, and the final two he picks up on the street. What he does is he picks them up, drugs them, and then he ties them up, and menacingly with a pair of scissors. This pair of scissors is also like an extension of the killer. He also uses plastic wrap and a belt. These are all like extensions of him. And he uses them to strip them nude with the scissors and then terrorize them, suffocate them, strangle them, bind them, and of course molest them, and then mutilate their genitalia. Yeah, it is as grotesque as it sounds. The second story does have this kind of odd sense of humor in the very beginning with the interview.
Sponge bathing the genitalia of a man.
Never a man, but it's a body part. It has to be kept clean.
And you have to wash the balls and massaging the penis with soap, of course, and you have to get really in there and massage. Well, not massage. That's not the word I'm looking for. But it is something that some people find uncomfortable with an elderly man. So I want you to consider that as well. Now, is this something that you do with your clothes off, a sponge bath?
Yeah, typically.
Okay, great. Well, that's perfect. This is for an elderly man, so you have to give him something to look forward to because he is going to die soon. Does that make you a little uncomfortable?
Well,
Where's my manners? Let me get you some tea. Would you like some tea?
Decaf?
Okay, yes, I'll get you some decaf tea. So, you will be required to stay overnight. You'll actually have to sleep in the same bedroom as him. Now, you probably will even be sleeping in the same bed. So, now, don't jump to any conclusions. This is a good paying job. We're going to pay you minimum wage, and basically you're going to have to wear your uniform 24 hours a day, the short skirt, the low cut top, and you have to sponge bathe him. It's good if you actually sponge bathe him with your clothes off too. That way you won't get your clothes wet.
See, that's kind of out of place, but yet it is kind of welcome. And Ryan Nicholson has always kind of had an odd sense of humor in his films. You'll look at something like Gutterballs where you want to throw up and then you're laughing and then you don't know what to think. And that's that only happens about once or twice in this movie. There is one kind of, I thought, kind of shoddy special effect at the very end with rump roast, but I thought the other special effects were pretty gratuitous and actually very gross. The vagina bleeding and him bathing in it was a little surprising, I must say, and other things like that. I don't want to spoil too much, but you know what you're getting yourself into in this type of film now, I guess. It's very gratuitous, pornographic. There's, you know, a lot of, I guess I'll call them bills and bub shots, open vagina, open butt shots, stuff like that. A lot of pornographic stuff in here, and you know, it's very sleazy. Like, I was even like, man, this is some sleazy stuff. The musical score in here is very reminiscent of maybe something like an 80s slasher movie. I kept thinking Maniac, but I couldn't think of the Maniac score right off the top of my head. It definitely reminded me of Maniac, the movie. And, you know, even his character kind of reminded me of Joe Spinelli a little bit, Joe Spinell. And he's kind of this weird guy wearing aviators. He's kind of cheesy and whatnot. It's kind of strange that he does narration throughout the first story, and then they kind of skip out on the narration. I don't know if that was, you know, to fill in some gaps and whatnot, moves the story along. But Ryan Nicholson delivers. He actually stars in this one himself, which is kind of odd, kind of adds a layer of sleaziness as well. But if this sounds like it's up your alley, you really like, you know, want to see a modern day roughie sex whore, then check it out. I don't know, really. This will appeal to a lot of people, but also a lot of people will be appalled by it. So you got to pick and choose on this one. So, you know, if this doesn't sound like it's something you would even want to watch, then don't watch it. But as being a fan of Ryan Nicholson, you should check it out regardless. I mean, he's delivered some high-quality horror films, Gutterballs, Torched, Hanger. So I'm going to watch everything he does. And Dead Nude Girls is definitely something a little different than what he's done before. But thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.
I have this dream. I'm sitting there taking pictures of the birds. I see this girl approaching.
You here to watch the birds?
It's the same girl that lives in my neighborhood that I see every day at the bus stop. I take her picture. I want her. I want her so bad. I see her walk into the forest. I take off my belt. I run up behind her and I loop it around her neck and then I squeeze. And I strangle her. I fucking squeeze and I squeeze. She's mine.